Greetings. Checking in with chapter 31 to 40 of Orley Farms, which takes me to the halfway point of this novel, where I feel like the focus of the novel is sort of coming into it's coming into focus. Um, and that I think I've mentioned it before, the whole idea of law reform, of the idea of unfortunately, the legal system at the time, and I would say this is a valid thing of our time, is that it kind of motivates people to lie to get out of conviction. And what's more, to motivates their advocates, the lawyers, to lie, to basically do whatever they can to get their client off. Um, this being law, not justice. Is that the correct distinction? Something being true versus something being, being not, it's not being innocent, it's being not guilty. um, and this very much being the case with Lady Mason, who is most definitely guilty. She is most definitely probably has forged the codicil that got her son his property, and she's doing everything she can to get out of it. And it's interesting because we're trying to do it. Trollope seems to be trying to do it in a way of being very sympathetic towards her, and showing that the guy who she's cheated out, Joseph Mason the Junior, who's the eldest son of Joseph Mason, the guy who she married after his wife died, is a mean guy, is nasty, but he's a mean, nasty guy who should have inherited Orley Farm. Doesn't seem that this was the old dude's intention, and however nice she is, and however she kind of cajoles all the men around her to do what she wants to do, she's guilty, and whether that's going to hurt her son, Lucius Mason, who seems like a nice guy, but has gotten this ill-gotten gains from his mother by legal means. So yeah. And you can really see this with Mr. Furnival, the lawyer, who, he's basically doing this case because he really likes Lady Mason, and it's like he kind of puts it, it's like, well, it's not like I want her to be my mistress or anything like that, but it's like, it's basically, if she wasn't a hottie, if she wasn't as appealing as she is, he would not be doing this. He would be making his money otherwise. He probably wouldn't be he'd be messing up his marriage in a different way. He'd find a different object of lust to do with. I mean, this section ends with him telling his wife she should just leave if she doesn't like what's going on, which is like, and he's especially grumpy because Lady Mason has accepted a proposal of marriage from old Lord Percy. Uh, she's accepted a proposal of marriage from old Lord Percy, who just wants to protect her, and this is what he figures is the way. And indeed, it's his kind of gallantness has made her all the more appealing. She seems to be one of these like women who's like, the more she's in trouble, the more appealing she is to the men around her. And I mean, I think it's the more she kind of exudes that I would need someone to protect me kind of thing as her way of kind of getting through the world. So yes, there's that. It's interesting because we have a little bit of that with Madeline Stapley and Felix Gregory, where Felix Gregory has fallen from his horse, I think, in the last section, and she is like totally in love with him. Of course, Percy Orley, the younger Owen, the younger, the rat catcher dude. He actually proposes to her and gets turned down flat because she does not think of him that way. But she's totally into Felix. She's totally into Felix, who doesn't, who's like, oh, maybe I could actually have something to do with him. Though, oh God, in this section we find out that yes, um, he's been. They talk about him modeling a girl to be his wife, but it's basically he took up with some 14-year-old girl who he has been grooming to be his wife throughout this time. Basically signed a contract with her father, who's like, kind of mean and wants the money. Basically sold his daughter to him, and he's been educating her and molding her to be his wife. Except of course she looks like it's Mary Snow, and though apparently, of course, this is thankfully has backfired on him. Well, he doesn't really love her, so there's at least that. He's not actively kind of like some fucking pedophile who's grooming some young girl. She is now 19. They're supposed to get married, but she's been getting love notes, it looks like, and that he's invalid in the bed in the Stapleys, and he's like, I'm getting these letters from her apologizing, and from the woman who he kind of entrusted for her education, saying like, oh, I had nothing to do with this. This is terrible. It's like, I'm not quite sure what's going on, but I don't think it's a good thing. And it's like, yeah, it's like she'd been getting a love note from someone who she actually loves. So he's put all that money into it. Fuck you, buddy. Fine. She's going to go off and be with somebody else. That, thank God, versus he's groomed some young girl and then is going to, take her as his wife, which feels really, really, really gross. Which, it's clanging on my modern sensibilities, but just like, blah. So there's that. Yeah, I really do feel not a lot of engagement with these things. Because, like, I think of Lady Anna and the Countess Lovell in Lady Anna, and just how powerful and maternal of a kind of instinct she was to battle for her daughter. And it's like, Lady Mason is pretty kind of a pale shadow of that. So there's maybe a part of it is just like, how engaged or how vivid the characters are. All these people seem like okay, but no one's really popping for me. So yeah, I mean, I'm getting a little bit more of that theme of like, justice versus law, and all the little machinations. We do have a thing of Furlough's like, well, they want to get kind of respectable lawyers, but he knows it's like, if we're going to get out of this thing, we need somebody who's going to pull every dirty trick in the book. Which, hooray! They've got some Jewish guy who's just apparently will do all the dirty tricks and will get them off. But there's some push to actually get Felix. But one of the other lawyers says, yeah, but if you get him, how do you know he's not going to turn on you? Like he'll figure out that Lady Mason is guilty, and he'll just give up and he won't fight for her. It's like, you need someone like this Aaron something or another to do the fighting for us, because he doesn't care, which is good as a lawyer, but bad as a moral human being. So, but that's really not what we ask for lawyers. We ask for lawyers to be an advocate on either side and to fight as hard as possible through all legal means, all little technicalities. So yeah, Orley Farms, it's more of a intellectual read for me this time. I'm not finding the characters as engaging. I might also be a little bit bleh, but I just also don't think it's actually as good a trollop as Lady Anna. which I really enjoyed. All right, I'm going to leave it there for the moment. We're halfway through. More videos later.